Thank you for the opportunity to share my journey to purpose. There are volumes of information on the concept of purpose, your why. The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren relates a personal spiritual journey. Start with Why by Simon Sinek talks about the powerful idea of the golden circle. Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell focuses on significance. Why can stand for what hurts you, what you want to get rid of or get out of. It can also stand for what helps you, something that you want or desire. Human beings, consciously or unconsciously, we seek to be part of something bigger than ourselves, to have influence for good, to make a difference, to drive change. Many seek significance to build a legacy. That is what purpose is, what many call your why you do what you do. Sometimes purpose is defined as essential motivating aims of your life, the reasons you get up in the morning. Purpose can guide life decisions, influence behavior, shape goals, offer a sense of direction, and create meaning. For some people, purpose is connected to vocation, meaningful, satisfying work, discovering one's purpose. In life, it boils down to finding those one or two things that are bigger than yourself and bigger than those around you. It's not about some great achievement, but merely finding a way to spend your limited time, your limited amount of time, and doing that well. We're always looking for our purpose. Some of us realize this early in our lives, while others do so later in life. So it is so critical to our own happiness that we define our purpose as early in our lives as possible. For some of us, something happens in our lives, and working with it, for it, or against it becomes our purpose. For the majority of people, myself included, having a purpose requires intentionality, a deep desire to define, to discover our purpose. I like to play a short video from Legal Shield founder, the late great Harlan Stonecipher, as he describes how he found purpose in his life.
The service that we provide is the result of an accident that I was involved in many years ago. It was an automobile accident that really wasn't even my fault. In fact, the Highway Patrol gave the ticket to the other party. But even though the other party got the ticket, they filed a lawsuit against me a few weeks later. And that was just something that I was totally unprepared for. I was not prepared for it emotionally. I certainly wasn't prepared for it financially. I was like most people. I didn't even know a lawyer. So I began to realize that most people were probably in the same situation that I was, that they had coverage if their home should burn down, and the fire insurance coverage that they would have on their home. They had hospitalization coverage if they needed to go to the hospital. They had life insurance if they didn't make it. But, and I had all of those things. My car was replaced, my hospital bill was paid for, but I didn't have anything to cover the legal fees that arose out of that. And to me, at that point in my life, they were substantial. And I realized that most people were just simply not prepared. And I thought that there probably was something like that available in the United States. And I began to search, I began to look for it, and I found out it just didn't exist. So I thought, well, this is something that I needed. It's something that I think everyone needs, and that gave me the idea to develop a plan that gives the average family unlimited access to the top quality lawyers in North America.
So Mr. Stonecipher's purpose became to protect and empower people. He would often say, we are on a mission to provide equal access to equal justice for everyone. Now, this resonated with me. I've been involved in situations where I could have benefited from this service. And the more I learned about Legal Shield, the more intrigued I became. More importantly, my research on the company also led me on a parallel path to discover my own purpose. So I joined forces with Legal Shield. I wanted to be part of something big. The mission to protect and empower people is huge. Not only, it's not an easy task, but a worthy goal. I also saw a clear path to connecting this big mission at Legal Shield with what I have come to learn is my passion, my purpose, my why, and that is Latino entrepreneurship. So why Latino entrepreneurship? There are over 60 million Latinos in the US today, comprising 18.6% of the population. It's the second largest demographic group, the fastest growing, and the youngest. One of every four American under 18 is Latino. Interesting fact is that Latino households are twice as likely than non-Hispanic white households to plan on financially supporting a parent through their retirement. Adding to this challenge, Latinos are 41% more likely to have auto debt than non-Hispanic whites. They also carry more student debt and more credit card debt. When it comes to household income, non-Hispanic white families hold $2.80 for every $1 held by Latino households. Latinos shoulder unparalleled financial pressures. At the same time, Latino purchasing power has reached $1.7 trillion, and the Latino GDP is now $2.3 trillion. If Latinos in the US were a separate country, our economy would be the eighth largest and the fastest growing in the world. And yet, no one is talking about this. Instead, the conversation is only about how Latinos are the biggest consumer bloc and are huge buying power. I'm wary of that rhetoric. We're viewed as consumers of goods and services, not as business partners, future allies, investors, and major players. I want to change that through entrepreneurship. That is my purpose. The reason why I launched Lat-Pronation in 2019. My belief is that we don't have a savings problem or even a spending problem. We have an income problem. For most people, that income problem is not going to be solved through traditional employment alone. That income problem will not be solved by adjusting the minimum wage in tiny increments over many years. Inflation will make sure that this does not work. We all have limited time and limited energy, so getting a second or third job will not work either. And no one can save their way to wealth and prosperity. So the real solution to our income problem is developing a way to earn money 24 hours a day without having to work 24 hours a day. Warren Buffett has said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And by the way, he didn't say that you will fix your income problem this way either. Entrepreneurship can fix that problem, solve it, and solve that huge income problem for millions of people, specifically underemployed Latinos. So my plan, my vision is to use Legal Shield as the vehicle to achieve my purpose, which is to create millions of stories of Latino success through entrepreneurship. 6 months ago, people desired to control their income, and they viewed entrepreneurship as something to consider sometime, someday. Today, hundreds of millions of people around the world need to not only control their income, but create their own income, replace what has been lost, either temporarily or permanently. Entrepreneurship has never been more important. What used to be a nice to have or a desire has quickly and abruptly become a must-have, an immediate need, a plan A, not a plan B. One of the many blessings of entrepreneurship is that it can be full-time, part-time, or spare time, or the way that I run my business, which is anytime. I subscribe to the anytime business model, the anytime entrepreneurship model. Legal Shield's purpose and my purpose are fully aligned. We protect and empower people. Our missions are aligned. I have learned that we achieve great things with and through others, so I'm leveraging that alignment. That is why I do what I do, why I get up every morning, why I created Lat-Pronation, why the money that I earn is secondary, a byproduct to helping others achieve success through entrepreneurship. Help them live more and worry less. To do más and be más. You need to be more and do more in order to get more. Today, My purpose and lab coronation are more relevant than ever. Thank you.